Okay, thermostat time. You've got a code that says insufficient coolant temperature for closed loop operation. It even might say something like what you've seen in the thumbnail with intake air temperature sensor, coolant temperature correlation. And typically, what that's meaning is that the thermostat is taking opening too quick, and you could have a bad seal, the spring could be weak, and sometimes even the aftermarket ones that you get from a lot of the places later, like behind me over here, just don't do right. So I would suggest getting a Kia or a dealership thermostat for these particular models because I have had trouble using aftermarket thermostats. This is a 2011 model, 2.4 naturally aspirated engine, which means that this will work for several different years of the naturally aspirated models of the Kia Optima. So let me flip the camera around and show you what we got here. So here you are with the engine complete right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to take just a few pieces off so we can get to it. The thermostat's on the back of the engine right here, and it's not that hard to get to, thank goodness. And we're going to make this fast. So first thing I'm going to do is I had the benefit of a small scissor lift, so I'm going to lift the vehicle up and I'm going to put a drain pan underneath it. We're just going to, I don't want to drain the coolant all the way down because it makes for a real big air pocket and you have to do a lot of work to get that out. We're going to let the coolant drain down. We're going to blow the top of the motor off so all the stuff's off of there, put it back together, and then we're going to clear the codes. But let me show you what I got to do to get to it. We'll make it fast. First things first, remove this air tube, and I'll just unsnap these snaps and take it loose right here. That gives me a lot of working room. I've got a small connection right here. This little cover just pops right up, so that makes it easy peasy to get off. We'll go ahead and get that off out of the way and just lay that over here. And let me move forward a little bit more. So a quick rundown, right? What we've got here is I've removed this air intake that was sitting right here, the two 10mm bolts, removed the air box lower unit out of the way, and then I'm going to remove the three 10mm bolts out of the perimeter of the thermostat housing, leaving the hoses connected here because there's no reason to disconnect them. There's plenty of room to pull this back. The coolant will just drain down both sides of the engine, which won't hurt anything. I've got a catch pan underneath here to catch the fluid. Now, what we're going to do is, once I put it back together, I'm going to show you something about the thermostat too. When we put it back together, I'm going to remove the top hose right here, and I'm going to hold it up, and I'm going to fill the engine up with coolant from the top hose to make sure that I fill the engine block up, because it's hard to get the coolant to get up through past the thermostat into the engine because the thermostat will be closed off. And then let me show you something about how these thermostats work. I've got an older one here, but it's got the same thing happens here. It's got a little tab, little thing, or whatever you want to call that, a little check valve. That needs to be aiming towards the top of the engine. You need that straight up and down. When I take it out, I'm gonna put the new thermostat in just like that right there. And then we'll of course, once this is all reconnected, and we'll finish topping this off. Then we'll crank the engine and allow it to run with the radiator cap off, monitoring it closely. There'll be some air bubbles that'll come out, which is normal. That'll get the air pocket out of it. And then we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much the rundown of the replacement of the thermostat. Just put everything back together. If you like what we're doing on these quick videos of doing things in a how-to manner, please hit the like, subscribe, and share. And tell everybody what we're doing. We're trying to help people save some money out here in this world. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week ahead, and I'm out.